Okay, we're up to the Mishnah Ayin Ches, and it's September 11th, 2024. And Baruch Hashem, we're happy to have Winsor Heshi, who walked out of the Trade Center, walked down how many flights? 77 flights, and took a whiz in Harrison Ford's bathroom. Okay, says the Mishnah.
You had to record that, right?
So you're selling a donkey. Again, going through whatever people sell, when they sell something, what's included in the sale. So you're not selling mat, you're not selling his kalim. The Gemara will explain which kalim are we speaking about. The Gemara will explain which exactly kalim we're speaking about. Nachum Amadi Omer, Macha kalim, you do sell them. You do sell them. Again, if the Rashbam is telling you Mefarish B'Gemara, then obviously it's Mefarish B'Gemara. Obviously it's Mefarish B'Gemara. Mazel tov to Rabbi Avi, by the way. He had a granddaughter. Rabbi Yehuda Omer, Rabbi Yehuda opinion, Pamim Mechurim, sometimes there's sales, Pamim Eina Mechurim, sometimes not. We'll have to see. Again, the Gemara will explain that. We're in the Mishnah Rabbi Avi, Ayin Ches. Okay. Ketzad, Hayachamor Lefanov, the Kalev Olav, you have a Chamor in front of him, and the Kalim are on the Chamor. The Amar Lo, and you say to him, Machali Chamor Chazeh, sell to me this Chamor. Or you say Kalev Mechurin, then the Kalim are included in the sale of the donkey. However, if he says Mecharchahu, is this your Chamor? Is he asking him? Then Ein Kalev Mechurim, because again, it's a lashon of Sheila. He wants to know, maybe it's somebody else's donkey. So is this your Chamor? Is this your Chamor? Then the Kalim are not included. Okay, so again, we have machloikis between the Chachamim and Nachum Hamadai as to the Chachamim say that you don't sell the Kalim, and with Nachum Hamadai you do sell the Kalim. Ula machloikis bisak v'diskaya v'kumni. Machloikis is between the sak, is this type of cargo bag, the skaya is saddle bags, and the kumni is the woman's saddle. The kumni is the woman's saddle. The machloikis is over there. Right now, because these things are all for load. It's fascinating that a woman's saddle is not considered for riding; it's considered a load. Guys, you might recall Ayin Tes in Seichres Omnin that if a person rents a donkey to a man, a woman can't ride it because the weight distribution, the way they sit on it, is different than the man. It's different, even though they may weigh less, but the way they sit on the donkey is you can't do it. It's I don't know if that we discussed it then, right? Because it's a weird topic. It seems that they set side saddle. They shouldn't spread their legs over the chamar.
The weight wasn't
the distribution was right. We rate the sma and shin ches says that the weight distribution is funny. So therefore, it's funny. So the saddle is considered part of a load. It's not considered a chiva. It's considered the same thing as a cargo bag. It's the same thing as saddle bags when you go ahead on the donkey. The Tanakh Sava stam chamar lechayv koi. Stam chamar is for the purpose of riding. So therefore, the only thing that will be included would be the riding kalim. Stam chamar is for the backpack. So therefore, it would be part of the sale. Aval oikif umardas kilkali v'chevek. If the oikif, the saddle, mardas is the blanket. Kilkali, I think, is some type of belt that held the saddle underneath the girth of the animal. V'chevek, some type of part of the apparatus of the saddle. Anything that shaykh is to riding, those everyone seems to agree will be part of the sale. Dirbi akol mechurim. Okay, so here's Ula qualifying the Mishnah. When the Mishnah says the Chachamim are arguing with Nachum Hamadai about whether the Kalim are part of the sale, that Machlokes is only regarding the Kalim that are used for schlepping. If it's a Kalim that's used for what? For riding, that everyone agrees is part of the sale. Even the Chachamim would say that's part of the sale, because Stam Chamar is for the purpose of riding, and you're buying a Chamar, included in it would be what? Now the Gemara is going to discuss whether does it have to be on the Chamar at the time of the sale or not, or even off for the Chamar. So that's the Machlokes. Mesive, chamor v'kelav ani meichlecha. The Mishnah said, "I'm selling you chamor v'kelav, I'm selling you chamor v'kelev ani moichelecha. Harizem mocher esa oik. It's I guess the brisa. Harizem moicher esa oikif. Vesamar das. Vesal kikli esa chevek. So what's included in the sale of the chamor and the kelim is all the riding apparatus. Avaloi mocher sak v'diskaya v'kumdi, but the things for schlepping are not. Ubizman shah. That's when you say chamor v'kelov. Aval. Ubizman shamalo he v'chol masha'alaha. So, guys, this is a more inclusive term, fellas. Three terms: chamor stam, chamor v'kelov, or everything that's on the chamor. Which is the most inclusive? Everything that's on the chamor. Good. Everything that's on the chamor. So he said harikula mechurin. Then everything what is part of the sale. Now, according to Nachem Amadai, if you said b'char v'kelov, l'chayri, that should be everything. So what's this more? With much only harikula mechurin, time in the amalei chamar v'kelov. Who the kani oiku from our das? The reason you're kind of the chamar v'kelov, it's a different kasha. The reason you're kind of the chamar v'kelov is because you said the lashon v'kelov. If you said meiches stam, it's not part of the sale. So it's a kasha on ulas pshat. Again, why is you get the oike for the mardas, guys? Because you said chamar v'kelov. Mashma, if you said chamar stam, all you get is the chamar. But according to the way Ula learned pshat, that you would get the oike if you would get the mardas. The machlokes is only what by the schlepping stuff, but by the stuff of riding, you would get kasha on Ula, amayra Ula. So Amalei Ula would tell you hachi, Amalei hachi. Amalei hachi loy. Amalei hachi loy. Who, meaning even if you said chamor stam, you would get the mardas. What does v'chol kelev do? Who had in the Afghan Amalei chamor v'kelev nami oiku for mardas mechur. In other words, if you just say level 1, just stam chamor, you would get the riding apparatus. So what's the chiddush of the next two? Oh, kamashman. The afal gav, the amalei chamor v'kelev, nonetheless, sak v'diskaya v'kumni leikana. Okay, so guys, outside. Let's, guys, three levels, guys, 3 levels. 1, chamor stam. 2, chamor v'kelev. A chamor of everything that's on top of it. Good. Says Ula that when the Chachamim say in the Mishnah that you don't get the kelim, you know what he means? You don't get the schlepping kelim, but you would get what? You would get the riding kelim. Nachum Mother says you'd even get what? Okay, so now, but everyone says you'd get that. Now, it's mash from the Brisa. The only reason you get the riding stuff is because you said chamar v'kelov. But if you say chamar stam, you wouldn't get it. That's the kasha on Ula. And for Ula, no. You'd always get what? The chamar. You would always get the riding stuff. The chiddush is, if you say chamar v'kelov, right? If you say chamar v'kelov, even though you said kelov, you're still not getting the riding apparatus. The schlepping. The afgav damalei chamar v'kelov sak v'diskay v'kumi leikana. That's the chiddush. But notice, but the chamar stam, you would get the riding stuff. But the chacham hold the kelov, you wouldn't get the schlepping stuff, which is the chiddush. Okay. So in other words, like the chachamim, there's no difference between chamar stam or chamar v'kelov. Like the chachamim, there's no difference between chamar stam and chamar v'kelov. All you're getting what is the riding stuff, because they hold stam and chamar is for riding and not for schlepping. Now we want to know my kumni. What is kumni? Amar Papa Bar Shmuel is merkafta de nashe. It's the saddle of women. Okay, now iboiluhu. But oidin love machlokes is the machlokes when the stuff is on it. If it's not on it, in other words, if there's nothing on the chamar, this is the way the Rashbam learns. If there's nothing on the chamar, right, then Nachum would be moided to the chacham that you don't get anything. Rashbam learns that you wouldn't. If there's nothing on it, you wouldn't even get the. If you just say you wouldn't get the riding, you wouldn't get the riding. Taisus disagrees. Taisus says you would get the riding, and the machlokes is only by the cargo. So again, is the machlokes where it's on. Al b'shein oiden love moidlei nachem that you won't get the schlepping. Idilma b'shein love machlokes. Machlokes even when it's the schlepping's not on it. Al b'oiden love, but if the schlepping stuff was on it, moidlei rabban nachem that you would get it. So we want to know what's what's the machlokes. Tashma ubizman sha'amaloi hu b'chol masha'alav. In the time where he says it and everything that's on it. Okay, that's level 3. Guys, level 3, right? That's level 3. Hari kulan mechurin. Then you get everything. Level 3 gets you everything. Good. If you're going to tell me machlokes is when the schlepping stuff is on it, hamani, then who's the Tana? Rabbanan. The Tana would be the Rabbanan. The schlepping stuff is on it, and therefore, if you say everything that's on it, you would get, then it's the Chachamim. If you're going to tell me machlokes where nothing's on it, that even Nachum would say you would get it, and the Chacham say you won't get anything. But where it's on it, even the Chacham would be moida hamani. Then who is what? Who's the Tana? Says the Rashbam. Guys, 5 lines in the bottom. Hamani, loy Nachum, loy Rabbanan. Why not? The ba'oidin alav myri. You're speaking oidin alav. That's the machlokes. When it has its schlepping stuff on it, and the Chacham say you don't get it. Good. Va'afilu hachi loy machar mistama ad amle behedya v'chol mashaleha. And it says mashma you don't get it unless you kol mashaleha. Now, guys, if you're telling me that everyone's moida but oidin alav, then who's the Tana of the Mishnah? Who's the Tana of this brisa? Guys, watch. Look at me. Guys, look at me. You're telling me that the machlokes is when nothing's on it, but when it's on it by level 2, everyone would be moida. Everyone that you get the schlepping stuff, right? Mm-hmm. Good. Comes along, but you say if the chachamim, everyone's moida by level 3, that you get everything. But 1 second, you already got everything by level 2. So Bishleim, if you're going to tell me they argue even when it's not on it. So the Chacham say level 2 you wouldn't get it, level 3 you would get it. But if you're telling me that what? If you're telling me that level 2 they do get it because there's no machlokes when it's on it, so why did you gain by saying level 3? Why did you gain by saying what? It's all on it. Okay, one more time. You have 3 levels: Stam, Kalev, Mashallah. You want to know is the machlokes by 1 or by 2? Machlokes, okay? If you're going to telling me by 2, if it's when he says when it's on it, there's no machlokes. So that means when you said Kalev, everything's good. So what you gain by level 3? So there is no Tana. But if the machlokes is where even when it is on it, you know what you gain? By saying Mashallah, then you gain the schlepping stuff. So let's see one more time inside. Tashma. Ubizman shama loy hu b'chol Mashallah, level 3. Really works good, 1, 2, and 3. Thank you, Hashem. Right. Really, it just came in. Anyway. Tashma. Ubizman shama loy hu b'chol Mashallah. Hari kulan mechurin. Then you're going to get everything. Machlokes is when level machlokes where when it's on the animal. Hamani rabbanan he. When it's on the animal, they argue. When you say kol mashalav, then you're going to get the schlepping stuff. The machlokes is where it's not on, but where it's aval ba'oidin when it is on divrei kol mechurin, you get the schlepping stuff. Say according to Nachum and even according to the Chachamim, Hamani, who's the Tana that you need level 3 is Eshalav. You already accomplished it by level 2. Loilam b'shein oidin alav machlokes. Machlokes is what ein achinami where it's not on it. Rabbanan he, and therefore it's Rabbanan, right? Therefore it's Rabbanan, right? If it's not on it, then the ain't alav Rabbanan. But okay, b'shein. L'olam b'shein other machlokes. Machlokes what is when it's not on it. Okay, that's the machlokes is what l'olam b'shein other machlokes rabbanan he a brisa. The brisa that says mashallah level 3 is the chachamim. The ema ubizman and just say ubizman sha'amaloi hu v'chol masharoy li isolav. Not that it's on it. The time you say it's roy to be on it. Not you don't need 11. Not in other words, you need 2A, not 3. You need 2A. Ubizman sha'amahu b'chol masharoy liyasalav. You don't say that's on it, but if it's right to be on it, then you get everything. Yeah. Toshma, Rabbi Yehuda Omer. Again, we're trying to be Paisha the Shaila. Trying to be Paisha the Shaila. Rabbi Yehuda Omer. Rabbi Yehuda says, sometimes Pamim the Kalim are Mechurim that sold with Chamor, Upamim Shem Mechurim. Sometimes they're not sold with Chamor. My love, Amai the Tanakama Koi Rabbi Yehuda. Rabbi Yehuda is going back on what the Tanakama said. Tanakama said what? Nachum said, if you sell Chamor v'Kelev, you get everything. Tanakama says what? You only get riding, not schlepping. Comes along Rabbi Yehuda says, no, sometimes you even get schlepping. In other words, Rabbi Yehuda is going in the words of the Tanakama. That's what we're suggesting right now. Let's see the Rashbam in the bottom, 2 lines in the bottom. Rabbi Yehuda, love Rabbi Yehuda is speaking where it's on it. Dokatani, Chamor Chazu, Kelev Mechurim. This Chamor, then the Kelim is Mechurim. Guys, when you say this Chamor, Rabbi Yehuda says you get everything on. Obviously, it's got to be speaking where it's on it. So let's bring a raya that the Chachamim argue by Oiden Love. Guys, look at the Mishnah. Hamoiches Chamor Leimachro Kelev. Now the shaila is it on it or not? Go down. Rabbi Yehuda Omer Pamim Mechurim, Pamim Mechurim, and he's going in the words of the Tanakama, right? Now, Ketzad Hayachamor Lefonov the Kelev Alav VaAmar Loi Machali Chamor Chazeh Harry Kelev Mechurim. So what do you see? He's going on what on the Chachamim. He's saying Oiden Alav. So l'chayra is arguing the Chachamim, but you see the Chachamim would disagree by Oiden Alav. So let's be Paisha the Shaila that Machlekes is Afilu Oiden Alav. Okay, let's continue Rashbam. The way it's now, Mishum Hachi Kelev Mechurim. V'amai the Tanakama Koi. The Shamina de Mifli b'Oiden Alav. You hear that the Tanakama and Rav Nachum argued when it was on top of him. Lamar Machar, according to Rav Nachum, it's a sale. Lamar Lomach and Chacham, it's not a sale. The Us Ihu comes along Rabbi Yehuda Lemeimar Pamim Mechurim Lachriya B'nei Mas. He's coming to go ahead and make a pshara. So guys, we have a shaila. It's the machlokes between Oiden and Love, not Oiden and Love. We want to go ahead and infer from a Mishnah that the machlokes is what Oiden and Love. How do you infer that? We have 3 shittas. The Chachamim, not a sale. The Nachum, yes, a sale. Rabbi Yehuda, Vensach. Rabbi Yehuda, it depends. Good? Now, if Rabbi Yehuda is going on, and what did Rabbi Yehuda say? When you say Chamor Zu, this Chamor, then you get everything that's on the Chamor. Rabbi Yehuda obviously speaking that what? If there's something on the Chamor. And if he's going on the words of the Tanakama, so he also must be speaking there's something on the Chamor. So let's be pushing the Shaila that what? That Oiden Love. That's what we wants to think.
But you have to assume that he's going to Tanakama.
That's the assumption that he is going on the Tanakama, right? That's the Havamina, and that you have to teretz already. So Toshma, Rabbi Yehuda Omer, Pamim Mechurim, Pamein Mechurim, to be machriya between the Tanakama who says the schlepping stuff is not for sale, and Nachum who says the schlepping stuff is for sale. He'll be machriya depending what he said. My love, I might become a Tanakama koi Rabbi Yehuda. And therefore, let's be poishit that oiden or love. Gemara says lie. Rabbi Yehuda on the base. Rabbi Yehuda milsach rita kamar. He's saying his own thing. It's Rashbam milsach rita kamar. Inu iri b'shein oiden or love. They're speaking. They could be speaking the chachamim and nachim, but there's nothing on it. And aval oiden or love dibiakom macha. But enachinami, if there was on it, it could be it's good sale. And Rabbi Yehuda is arguing when they're diak. Sometimes in other words, guys, here's the way. Let's go back to the Mishnah and stick in the possibility. In other words, we're slugging up the way you learned it. You learned for sure it must be speaking oiden love. No. Watch this. Right? When it's not on it. But if it's on it, what? Then it would be part of the sale. Good. And so therefore they would agree. Comes along Rabbi Yehuda says, no, even when it's on it, sometimes what it's part of the sale or not. Depending whether you said Chamar Zu or Chamar Hu. No, I can learn Pshat in the Mishnah that way. If I learn Pshat in the Mishnah that way, you have no raya. So he's not going on, he's not being machriya, he's listening to the diak. What's the diak? Guys? When do they argue? When the schlepping stuff is not on it. But if the schlepping stuff was on it, they'd all agree. Comes along Rabbi and says, no, maybe not. It depends. Memela, you can't be machriya because I can learn pshat that way. So therefore, you can't, like you want to make the diak dafka oiden love. Could be speaking ein oiden love. Very gishmak. Toshma. Let's try to be paishet again. The next Mishnah. Okay, guys, let's just for brevity's sake, we have a Mishnah, we have Moicheres HaChamar, right? The first Mishnah in the Perek before all the Agarita was a Moicheres HaSfina, and we said you don't get the Avodim, you don't get the Matzufim, you don't get the Antique, you don't get the cargo, you don't get the sacks, you don't get that. Okay? The Sfina, you don't get slaves along with it, you don't get the cargo along with it, you don't get the cargo along with it. The next Mishnah on Ayin Chesam and Beis, Moicheres HaChamar, Mocheres hasiyach. You would get the if you buy a female donkey, you'd get the siyach, which is a foal, which is a baby donkey. And in Moches Apara, you would not. Okay, good now. The Gemara let's says the Gemara. Moches Akaroin. That's later on. Where is that Moches Akaroin? Okay. Moches Akaroin. If you go ahead, what? We had this earlier. Le'machar es ha'pradais, right? That's on Ayin Zayim the base. If you go ahead and you sell a wagon, you don't get the mules. The Tani Rach Tachli for Bar Arava, Kamei Rav Abba, Moches Akaroin, Moches ha'pradais. This was the dialogue we had. So how do you explain it? If I'm a lay, but non lay machat tanan, I'm a lay. Ismaya, should I go ahead and delete this? I'm a lay. The Targum Masnisach, the brisa that says that you would get it is speaking by Dukinba, where it's attached to the wagon. Mechal de Masnisan, it must be speaking that Mishnah, B'Sheina Dukinba. So that Mishnah just preceded our Mishnah. That Mishnah just preceded our Mishnah, correct? So Umidaresha B'Shein Oidem Alav, and when that is where the mules are not connected to the wagon, Seifa Nami B'Shein Oidem Alav. Our Seifa also must be where the schlepping stuff is not connected to the chamor. So let's be paisha the shaila. We know the Mishnah is always a beauty in its symmetry, wanting to make everything tzushtel down the line. So if it's over there speaking where it's not attached, that's why you don't get the mules along with the wagon. It must be over here also where the schlepping stuff is not attached to the chamor. So let's be paisha it that way. Says the Gemara, Adarabba, Ema Reisha. Let's go back to the Reisha. You didn't get the avodim, you didn't get the cargo. The amrinon, my antiki, umra papa iska the begava. It's speaking about the iska, the cargo, the pragmachi, the sklaira. With the Reisha ba'oidin alav, sefer nami ba'oidin alav. And when the Reisha is oidin alav, let's say the sefer is nami oidin alav. So in other words, there's no, you're not locked into saying that it's speaking mat where it's attached. Ella, why do you have to say Ella? Tana, mili katani. Each Tana, each Mishnah goes according to what? Its own shot. Rashbam, 4 line down. Mili katani. Chada b'oidin alav. One is speaking b'oidin alav, right? Chada b'shein oidin alav. And one is speaking ein oidin alav. Shekol alachach min haga shalaylam. Yesh davar shu b'chal chaveiroi. B'oidin alav. Yesh davar shem b'chal afilu b'oidin alav. There's something that when it's not on it, it's considered part of it. Like it could be the schlepping stuff according to Nachum. And this parts that not even on it, like cargo, is not part of the stuff. Good. Now the simon over here is Zayin Gimel Mem Nasan. The Zayin is for Reb Elazar, the Gimel is Reb Shimon Gamliel, the Mem is for Reb Meir, the Nun is for Reb Nasan, the Samach is for Sumchis, and the Nun is for Nachum Amadai. Okay, so Simon Gazam Nasan. Amr Abaya, Reb Elazar, Reb Shimon Gamliel, Reb Meir, Reb Nasan, Besumchis, Nachum Amadai. Hula Svir Lahu, all over the opinion, Ki Mazme Inish, when a person sells, Midi, Ihu V'chol Tash Misel Mazman. You're selling it and everything that's associated with it. Mostly. Rav Eliezer did nan, Rav Eliezer Oimer, Hamoicher Beis Abad, Moches HaKaira. You sell the Beis Abad, we had it earlier. If you go ahead, you sell the Beis Abad, you're getting, even though it's, remember it's not Kavua? It's not Kavua. Usually it has to, in order to be part of the sale, it has to be Kavua. Over here, it's not kavua. It's a plank, right? It's not kavua. So even though it's not kavua, it's still part of the sale. Rishim Galil did not. Rishim Galima. Amoiche esa ear. Amoiche esa santer. He had machlokes what the santer was. Was it the head honcho of the city who's in charge, the eved who's in charge of the taxes, or was it a guardhouse? We had it's like century. Remeya did not. Remeya oimer machar sakerim machar tashmishi akerim. You get it? Well, all the things that are disattached from the kerem. Rav Nosson is Sumchus, right? Rav Nosson is Sumchus, Bitzas V'Dugis, right? That Rav Nosson and Sumchus, they said that if you get a boat, you get the Bitzas and the Dugis, those little boats that are attached to the larger ship. Nachamada Yehada Amara. Nachamada, we just said over here that you would get the cargo on the schlepping stuff on the donkey. Rashban points out that they're not all exact. Some are much more liberal than others. I mean, Rabbi is the most liberal. He says the whole kerem. But what he's trying to say, the shita, each one goes in the shita that if you go ahead and sell whatever you're selling, it includes more than the bar plukta, than the one who argues on them. You're getting a little more than the one who argues on them. Sometimes it is, sometimes not. If the guy is chamar chasud, he goes, I want to buy this chamar, then you get everything on it. If you ask him chamar chahu, maishna chamar chasu, maishna chamar chahu, what's the difference chamar this chamar, maishna chamar chahu? Amarava chamar chasu yada de chamadidehu. You know it's his chamar. The hide the kamalezu mishum kelav kamale. You're asking him about the kalim. Guys, I know it's your chamar. Why do you say chamar zu? I mean the way it is now, meaning what with all the kalim on it. And chamar chahu lo yada de chamadidehu. You know it's his chamar. V'hachi kamale. Chamar chahu shetem chachli. Is this your chamar that you could sell to me? So then he's not including the kalim. He wants to know about the etzem chamar. Where he knows it's chamar and he got his kalim, he goes chamar chazu. What does zu mean? In this condition, the way it is now. If he says chamar chahu, what's he saying? Is this your chamar? Period. And obviously he's not interested. He's not discussing the kalim. He's discussing what? It says the Mishnah. Amoicha esa chamar. You sell a chamar. Mocha esa siyach. Included in the sale is it's a female donkey. Is included. It's full. Mocha esa para. If you sell a para, like mocha espino, you don't get the calf. Mocha ashba. If you sell a garbage dump, mocha zivla, you're going to get the fertilizer in there. Mocha bar, mocha memecha, water is included in the sale. Mocha kaveres, mocha devorim. If you sell a beehive, a beehive is attached to the ground. We went through this. It has right a pusmal on it. It's karka. Right. This is the man-made beehive. Then you get the bees. Mocha shoivech, mocha yoinim. You get the doves. We want to know what's the difference by the chamor that you get it and by the par you don't. Hechidami idam aleihi b'na. If you said it and its child, I feel a paru b'na. Nami you should get. And if you didn't say it, he b'na, I feel a chamar nami loy. The chayre should not be a difference. Amar papa the amalei chamar menika upara menika. I want to buy a nursing chamar. I want to buy a nursing para. Ani ma'ichelcha. Bishleima, I'm selling to you. Bishleima parik l'meima l'chalba boy. No, it's been said on a nursing cow. What are you getting?
Milk.
The milk, right? El chamar, my kamale. You can't drink the milk of a chamar. What? What's he telling you? I'm selling you a nursing chamar. What is he telling you? I'm telling you the chamar and its child. Shmami no hiu b'no kamale. But my korle siach. Why is it called a siach? Why is it called siach? Shemahalech achas sichana. Now you get a donkey, an old donkey. You're not moving that donkey unless you give it a good whack. But it seems that a young foal donkey, if you talk to it in a nice way, it'll move. And as a result of that, we're going to go off and digress, as Bava Basra is wont to do. So I sent out the pasuk. I sent out today. We'll figure that out. Okay, I'm just to go through the. Oh, you know what? I didn't put it out. I'm sorry. Hang on a second with me. No, I know. No, I didn't post it on the screen.
Oh.
Should see it now, right? You see it? Okay. Before Bnei Yisrael conquered Sichon, right? The describes Sichon beating up Moab. And this is what the pasuk said. This is your Balak. This is your favorite parsha. It says, Al Kain Yamru HaMoshlim, the Moshlim, the poets. That's Bilam and his father Baar. Bo Cheshbon, right? Bo cheshbon tibana v'sikainin ir sichain. Ki eish yatsa mecheshbon lahava mikira sichain achla ar mayav balei bamais arnoin. Oilecha boav avarata im kamush nasan bonav plaitim uvenaisa bashvis lamelech emori sichain. So this is the poetry they wrote about the Sichon overcoming Moab. The Niram and the Avad Cheshbon, they lost their sovereignty ad the Divain. The Nasim ad Neufach Asher ad Medva. So this pasuk, fellas, we're going to dash in, of course, it brings in Sichon, we're going to dash in the Lashon of Siyach. That's the whole reason. So this is the pasuk we're going to dash in right now. So that's the pasuk. I guess I'll leave it. I don't even have to leave it up there. It's basically, you know what it's going to be. Okay, we're going to dash in this pasuk, and this is Rashi and Chumash. This is where he gets it from, this Gemara. So what does it say? It said it's Amr Rav Shmuel bar Nachmani. Change the gersa. Amr Rav Yochanan. My dichsiv al ken yomru hamoishlim. Again, the moishlim are Bilam and his father. Hamoishlim elu hamoishlim biyitzram. Metaphorically, these are the tzaddikim who moishel, they rule over the Yetzer Hara. Bo cheshbin. They go make a cheshbon, hefsid mitzvah keneged schara. When you mafsid a mitzvah keneged schara, you do a mitzvah, it's going to cost you money, tzedakah cost you money, or anything like that. The schara ve'er keneged hefseda. So the next cheshbon, to make a cheshbon, what to gain by a mitzvah, even though it's going to cost you, and what you lose by an aveira. Pasuk says tibana v'sikainen mata oisakain. If you do that, you make a cheshbon. Then tibana b'olam hazeh, you'll be built up in this world. And you'll be established in the next. The pasuk says Sichon, and this is why we bring it in. In Mesim Adam Atzmai Ke'ayir. The person, the word it's Sichon, but we're dashing Ke'ayir. Right? A person is a Ke'ayir. Look at the Rashbam, guys. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9 lines from the bottom where it gets wide. Ke'ayir zeh shemis bate beyitzroi, that you let yourself be seduced by Yetzer Hara. Or the words of Apikarsim, the Eina Mashla B'Yitzray. So this is if a person makes himself ka'ayir zeh shemahalech achas sichana. If you make yourself like this donkey that goes after sichana, you're going to go ahead and be seduced by some nice word or some taiva maksiv acharav ki yesh yotzem echeshbon. A fire is going to come out of cheshbon. What does that mean? Heitzei eish mechashvim cheshbon, from the lashon of the people mechashbon that we just previously who consider the schar mitzvah keneged the hefseda and the schar avera, but toichel she'ena mechashvin, and he'll eat up the ones that don't make that consideration. The pasuk says v'lohava mikiryat sichain. Now kiryat over here is for tzaddikim. That's why the Toras Chaim says we changed the lashon of ir to kiryat. Mikiryat tzaddikim, from the kiryat of tzaddikim, shenikroi sichin, who are called trees, right? They're called like tzaddik hatama yifrach, right? Tzaddik hatama, right? Like the trees. Achla ar moyav zeh acha yitzroi. Just like the person who goes after Yetzer Hara, ka'ayir zeh shemahalech acha sichana. Bali bamais arnoin elu gasei ruach bamais lashon of hay. These are bali gaiva. Lamamar kolodem sheish begases ruach. Any person who has gaiva, neifel begehenim, in the end is going to fall into gehenim. V'niram, the pasuk lashon of sovereign. Ama Russia, the lashon v'niram. Ama Russia ein ram. Says the Russia, there's no one on high. Ein ram, there's no one on high. Right? Avad cheshbin, Avad cheshbin shaloilam. The Rashbam says, "Claimer less din, less dayin." There's no one. There's no judgment. There's no judge. Ad divine. Amakadosh Baruch Hu himtim ad sheyavay din. Wait till what? Till you get to din. That's what divine is. Lashon din. But nasim ad noifach ad shetavay eish, until you get to the eish, the fire of Gehenim. Shein etzricha nifuch. It doesn't need to be. What's that called? Bellow. Where they use the bellows, the blacksmith, right? A bellows. It doesn't have to be fanned. It doesn't have to be fanned. That's the eish of Gehenim. Ad meidva, ad shetadiv nishmasan, until your neshama is pained. The imrila ad the avid my deboy, until Kadosh Baruch Hu, the fire will, until what it accomplishes by paying back the Russia in the next world. Because in this world they do things well. Things are good for the Russia in this world, so it gets paid back in the next world. Amrav Yudam Rav, kol ha'porish midivei Torah, anyone who leaves the Torah, eish lechaltoi, eish eats him up. Shneimar v'nesati es ponai behem mea eish yatsa v'eish teichlein. Kiyas Rav Dimi Amar Rav Yonasan, usually it's Rav Yechanan usually. Here, Dimi says never be understood. Kol ha'parish atzman v'devei Torah. Anyone who takes himself away from devei Torah, leifel b'gehenim. Shnemar Adam toya b'derech. He goes said he's lost. Haskel b'kal rafayim yenucha. I just make sure I'm reading the passage correctly. Haskel b'kal rafayim yenucha. Right. So the pasuk says that why he's going to be wandering. Adam aparish from the Torah is bekal refoim minuach. He's going to be in the kahal of refoim. Vein refoim el gehenim. So he's going to be the kahal of gehenim. Shnemar v'lo yoda. The person who's mispata is yetza, entices yetza. Ki refoim shom beimkei shol. The imkei shol refers to gehenim in the depths of gehenim. Ki reuha. That's where he is. Right. He's invited by others. Okay, Geshmak.